Hi, this video is going to talk about the inequalities in one triangle. If we have the angles of a triangle, the measurements of them, we can kind of put into order the sides, which side is biggest, which one's smallest, which one would be between them. And same thing, if we are given all the side measurements of a triangle, we can figure out which angle's the biggest, which angle's the smallest, that sort of thing. So that's what we're going to talk about in this video. There's not really a lot of math to do as far as like adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing, but what we are going to focus on is making sure that we have the correct notation. Whenever they're asking us for sides of a triangle, we need to use two letters and we need to have the segment symbol included in that. So I'll show you what we mean as we go through. Whenever we're asked to write a list of the angles, we need to make sure that we have the angle symbol included in our answers as well. All right, without those things, we're really not doing the problem correctly. All right, so this is called Inequalities in One Triangle, and if you want to pause this so you can write down in your notes what I have typed up there, the smallest angle is opposite the smallest side, the largest angle is opposite the largest side, and I don't think it's a word, but the mediumest angle would be opposite the mediumest side. So however you want to process that. So our task in this first triangle is asked us to write the sides in order from least to greatest. So we want to make sure that our answers are segments, not angles. They've given us the angles. So what is the smallest angle? It's angle F. And what I'm going to show you is how do we know what opposite is. So if we're here at angle F and it's 39, pretend you're, when I say it in class, it's like pretend you're a little bug sitting in that corner and you're going to walk straight out from that corner and you're going to bump into its opposite side. Okay, so that if we're writing out, we found our smallest angle, we walked straight out and bumped into our smallest side. So our first segment in the list is EG. So I could have also called it GE. It doesn't matter what if it's E first or G is first, but you need to have that little segment symbol over the top. All right, I want to find the next smallest angle, which would be 70. All right, and again, if I'm a little bug and I'm sitting where the 7 is and I walk straight out, marching forward, boom, I bump into the opposite side of that. So I'm going to call that side FG. Could have called it GF. Either way is fine. Put a comma. We don't really need to look at the triangle anymore. We just need to say, hey, we got two of the sides done. Our third side that we have not talked about yet is FE, or you could have said EF. Either one is fine. And there's your list. That's as easy as the problem gets. All right, let's do the bottom one together as well. So again, we are writing the sides in order from least to greatest. And I find my smallest angle, but look here. This is 42 and this is 42. So we have two equal angles. That means that their sides also have to be equal. So that's kind of cool to remember. So this 42 here, if I crawl straight out, I'm going to bump into the opposite side of FD. So there's my F, there's my D, put the segment notation over the top, and it's equal to this 42. When I walk straight out, its opposite side is ED. So I'm going to write it like that those two are equal, but they are the smallest. That's why I listed them first. And then I have one more side. It's opposite the 96, which is EF. So that would be the last in my list. All right, so just notice how I did state that these two are equal to each other. And then the EF is tagged on afterwards because it's the biggest one. All right, on our next slide, I'm going to ask you to try the top one. I'm going to have you hit pause and see if you can identify the segments in order from smallest to biggest. 2 letters for each segment, have the segment notation. So hit pause, do that, and then hit play and come back and see if you got it right. All right, so if you look at triangle EFD, our smallest angle is 44. If we march straight out, we're going to bump into DF. So that will be our smallest segment or smallest side. The next smallest, our medium angle, would be 56. And if we go across the triangle, we bump into DE. Again, you need that little segment symbol, comma. And then our last side that we have not talked about yet or listed in our list is EF. And that's all you're doing. All right, I hope you got that one right. We're going to switch tracks now, and it's the same concept, but this time, if you notice our triangle on the bottom, they gave us the side measures. So we need to list the angles in order from smallest to largest once again. So again, same thing. Where is our smallest side? It is 16. So if I am going to march into a corner straight across the triangle, I'm going to end up in angle S. So that would be my smallest angle. All right. Some people use this as an angle symbol. I am definitely guilty of that. Guilty is kind of a harsh word, but to me it's just clearer. And I guess it's also how I learned back in my geometry days. So either one I think is acceptable. Back to our triangle, our next smallest one is 20. And again, if we need to crawl into a corner across from that side, we're going to hit angle T. All right. And then our final angle that we have not even brought up yet, there's only one left, angle U. All right, again, that's all you're doing. Double check. It said to write angles. Did we write angles? Yes. I feel like as a teacher, that's the thing that happens that people most get the wrong. If I ask for angles, they write the sides in order. But so just make sure you're answering the question. All right, last slide. These two problems, again, I would suggest maybe hitting pause so you don't hear my voice, trying the problems on your own. You're writing the angles from smallest to largest. So hit pause, give it a try, and then come back and see if you got them right. Okay, for our top triangle, once again, we have two sides that are congruent. So that means that we're going to have two angles that are congruent. So we're going to say, I'll do the other angle symbol, that angle B is congruent or equal to angle A. They're both the smallest angles. And then our third angle is opposite our biggest side. It's our biggest angle, and that would be angle C. Okay, for our final triangle, again, our smallest side, because we're listing it from smallest to biggest, is 10. And that is opposite angle U. So that will be our smallest angle. We go back to the triangle. Our next smallest side is 15. And that is opposite angle V. And I'm not being consistent, am I, in my notation? There we go. And then the last angle that we haven't mentioned is angle T, and that is opposite our biggest side, so it is the biggest angle. All right, I hope this helped. Thank you.